Alright guys, it is a new day in the shop. What we got going on here? This is my Holley Terminator X package that I got. What I think I'm going to do is just kind of explain what all comes with this package. Because I was probably just like you guys were. You know, I was like, well, I hope it all comes with it. And just kind of walk you through the details of what we got going on here. I also ordered a fuel rail from Holley. I think that's going to work out pretty good. I also got a mount from Motion Raceworks. That's going to mount right behind my steering wheel on my column. And let's just kind of go over what we got here. So what I did last week is I went and pulled the old wiring harness out. You can see this mess of just disaster, you could probably call it. Might even be worse than disaster, I don't know. This is, yeah. Forget about that. All that came out of it. I don't know if you can see that too well, but. So basically this is the new wiring harness. This replaces that whole thing. What we got knock sensors, we got cam sensors. They all plug right into the basically factory plugs. You know, then you got ignition and regular ignition and a bunch of these others. They all plug in just like that did. And it's so much simpler. And then on this spot here you got for your fuel pump, and there's fuel regulator. There's several different on this here that you can run off to. I also ordered a fuel pump and some fuel filters and stuff from Holley too, so that we could just, everything gets read off of this. How much fuel pressure I got, how much, just everything.
That's not crazy talk.
And then I got a oil sending unit, just for the factory one. You know, goes in the back of the block. Super simple. You know, you just plug her right on in there. You got this little, I don't know if you guys can even see it from there. Let me see. Yeah. This little setting unit, oil setting unit. It's got the little filter that goes underneath it. You definitely want that because you want to just start fresh. So, as far as that goes, the one thing that this thing does not come with, which is this one here. It plugs into that there, and it kind of wraps around and goes in there, and that plugs into this plug-in right here. I don't know why they didn't send it. It's like $140. They should probably put it in the kit. I understand that there's probably 25 different coils, and you can't make every plug, you know. You just can't please everybody, I guess, so that's probably why they don't send it. Because you can order multiple different plug-ins on that. It also comes with, so this goes directly to the battery. This plugs into the back of everything, into the back of the ECU. And this plugs into the back right here. I mean, probably the simplest setup I think I've ever seen in a wiring harness, to tell you the truth. I know there's a million different ways to skin a cat, I guess I should say, but I feel like Holley's got it down to a science. So this is the control panel. I never really had a good grip of how big it was, so I never really found out. You know, there was nothing to really scale it by. Everybody knows what that is. That to that. You can see kind of how big it is. If anybody's a visual guy, you'll get that. So, I know they say the 7-inch, but they're measured 7 inches this way. And so straight across is 6 inches by 3 11/16. So that kind of gives you a ballpark on how big it is, just for a good reference. So in the overall size of the whole thing, so that's 4 3/4, and that is 7 5/8 from outside of plastic to plastic. Then they send you a little jump drive to go plug into your computer to get your first download and do all the things that you need to do. Little antenna, got some mounting screws, got a little pin so you can do the little things that you need to do on that dash. I'm not going to get into tuning because, yeah, I'm not the one to tune this thing. There's some really good tuners out there. This guy is not one of them. So I'm just here to show kind of what we got going on here. I could never find anything on the internet or on YouTube or on anything else just showing just how big this thing was, or how it worked, or if I needed to get extra parts, which I know I do now that I got them. So here's another one. This is a 4.8 LS, came out of a 2006 Silverado, or I think it's a 1500, I think. And that's what the wiring harness came out of. And that's the spec that I ordered it for. These are for my injectors. This plug here is for my injector. You can kind of see what it looks like, right? This is the injector plug that came on the Holley. Which, you know, once again, you can't please everybody. I'm sure there's 25 different kinds of these. What you'll have to do is we'll have to go in there and unpin them. Pen a clip for these to go back into my injectors, which isn't a big deal. But, yeah, if you could see the old wiring harness that somebody just cobbled into, I mean, that is just, do that in a comparison. Look at the difference of that. Now you can't say the Holley Terminator X has just as many wires. It cuts off, oh my God. Yeah, that could just go bye-bye. We don't need that anymore. I also got a fuel rail kit from Holley. Just to let you guys know, I'm not sponsored by no means by any of this. This all came out of my pocket. So don't be thinking Holley gave me some amazing little, I mean, they can totally hit me up. I'm all about it. Along with Motion Raceworks and whoever else. Well, anyways, let's get back to the subject here. So I got some fuel rails from Holley. I think they'll look pretty good on that. That'll work pretty good. Fuel's gonna come in here, go down to all the injectors, loop around here, go to the other rail, come back out into a pressure regulator, and then from there it'll return back to the tank.
I gotta get me one of those.
So yeah, this is basically what I said, everything changed on the Mistress, because basically did. Whole new fuel system, whole new wiring harness. Yeah, dash. Oh yeah, also comes with a little GPS thing that plugs in there. So you'll have a speedo, and this is going to be your Bible. This is basically step by step. Probably should read this before you even take off the old wiring harness. Just go through this and kind of familiar yourself. Just basically get to know it, because there's a lot. I've read through it twice and I'm still learning things. So, but there is 26 pages. Pretty much. You know, let me find the spot here. Just flip to a page. It pretty much tells you exactly what is going on throughout the whole. Like, here's one, here's the next step, here's the next step. Connectors, you know, flip over to here, there's some, then it starts going through the dash, showing you kind of how to get your programming in, and step by step. Then you get back here, and it's finally time to test it out. So, I mean, get familiar yourself with that. That is a very important thing. These guys, Motion Raceworks. I ordered this on a Saturday. It was to my house on a Monday. And I live in Wyoming, so just take grips of that for a second. They were on it. This Holley set came, I think I ordered it from Jegs, and it took probably 5 days, I think. These rails I ordered from Holley. Those took probably 4 days to get. My coil pack harness, still waiting on that. It's been a little bit over a week. My fuel pump and regulator and all that stuff, it's about, I think it's supposed to be here tomorrow. I got the tracking number on it, so, you know, if you're ordering this, I would basically plan on 2 weeks to get everything. So, but I mean, it's a pretty damn good setup. It looks like everything is gonna work. I mean, you could hook up your, matter of fact, I think these are your tail lights. You could run your tail lights, and you could basically run your fuel sending unit. You know, you ohm to your highest ohm when it's full, and you ohm it to the lowest when it's empty. And then there's a little thing in here. You go into your settings and you set your ohms, and it'll read your highs and lows in your fuel tank. I mean, it's just very nice kit. Overall, this is a pretty good setup. And if I was going to recommend it to somebody, I would give it at least an 8 out of 10. It's way up there. So, just for the fact that it pretty much comes with everything. And you know, you can unpen these, put new pins in, everything's all loomed up. You know, plug and play. You got the stuff for, you know, all the stuff you run into your computer. Jump right on Holley and they'll set you up. So just remember, when you're doing your buggy builds or your Jeep builds or any other kind of build that you're doing, that is the way to go. So if you're trying to fix your wiring, I mean, unless your name's Chad, just saying, you know who I'm talking about, guys. That is probably going to be the easiest solution to any build that you're going to be doing. So, and I think that's just hands down. Holley knew what the hell they were doing right there. So, but anyways, I think it's going to do it for this one. Like, subscribe, do all the little ding-dong things that YouTube wants you to do, and don't forget, if you don't start a project, you can never finish a project. So get off your ass, go start a project. That is going to be my project over there, going into that. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be seeing you.